Hello everyone, my name is Asismail Abir and we are here to discuss to own or to rent a financial analysis and financial and non-financial analysis of Vancouver house. Myself, Asismail Abir, and I'm here with Kamran Ahmed Choudhury and SM Nofal Islam. So this is the overview actually of our house. The house is located on 277 E 22nd Avenue, Vancouver, British Columbia, and the interest rate according for the 25 years amortization period is like 4.44%, and the couple has to made 300 monthly payments over these 25 years, where the couple will pay 1.12 million and in principal and 728K in interest, as you can see I have provided both of the graphs here. Now let's jump into the direct owning data. Let's begin with the down payment, which is basically for the property is 20% of the total of the purchase as rate, which comes to 224K for the down payment, and there are some one-time cost. So the first one-time cost is moving cost, along with property tax transfer, home inspection fee, and legal fees. So for moving cost, home inspection fee and legal fees, there is like we took out the average cost of all of them in Vancouver, and for property tax, as it comes from like 2% of the 1% of the first 200K and 2% of the remaining portions, and so the total comes and we calculate that, and it comes out 20.4K. And now let's talk about the closing cost. So the overall closing cost is for the for in British Columbia is 56K, and for the rest of the years is zero because it's a one-time cost. Now let's talk about the mortgage payment. So which is basically the mortgage payments they have to pay yearly, 73K, around 74K actually early. And since it's a like 5-year fixed mortgage, we took the 5-year fixed mortgage. So over the 15 years they have to pay the same. And for the property tax rate, right now British Columbia has 0.278% and property tax rate, and it goes it will increase 9% every year. And the property tax, as we calculated over there, and the property tax for every year is given over is, as you can see, is given. So the couple has to pay this property tax over the 15 years. Now let's talk about the owning data of the maintenance cost. So basically it's 1% in Canada, is the standard rule is 1% of the property, so it comes 11.2K. And for insurance, as is the average insurance cost is uh, to 1,250, and for each area is the same. And the utility cost is like for utility cost we choose gas, electricity, and phone bill, and all of the utility costs, which will cost is 5,172K, and the total recurring cost is altogether is the cost, so it's like 70,622K, 70,622 and the total recovery cost, since the inflation is 2% right now in Canada, so the inflation is like 2%. So for the year one end, it will be 70,974. Or and the rental income in Canada, they will the couple. So the only gaining is from the rental income, and it will for the year one it will be like 47 and 1,604 or dollar, and over the year it will increase it will increase is by 3%. And now let's talk about the net cash flow. So basically net cash flow, we calculated the nature. So in the all of the net cash flows are negative, and the year one is high because they have to pay a down payment. And as you can see, all the information is given, net of the net cash flow is given. And for the discounted cash flow, is basically calculated the discounted cash flow by calculating the discounted rate. Yes, so right now the discount rate is like 7.63%, and we calculated a discounted cash flow with the help of discounted rate, by calculating the discounted cash flow we find out the accumulated net present value is minus 634K. And let's go to the next slide. So in the next slide is the owning data of like the depreciation. So our according to Vancouver house market, the depreciation on the house will decrease the price by 7.8%, and the initial property value, as you already know. And for the future property value we calculate that. So So we calculated that at the end of year one, the house the house price will decrease by around 1 million till the year 15, where the house price will be uh, 331 331K. And for the opportunity cost, which is basically if the couple want to, if the couple don't make the down payment, what will be the opportunity cost? As we discussed on the phase one, there is low risk, medium risk, and high risk. So and I calculated this thing, and for the year one it will be 233K until the year 15, and to 418K. And let's talk about the high, and also for the medium cost, and let's go up the high cost, which is basically high risk, high return. So around like year 15, the couple will gain, and if they invest on high risk, they will gain around 1.2 million. Now Kamran will discuss about the renting one.
Thank you, Asif. Uh, let's put a financial lens on renting versus own. Consider using the discounted cash flow to explore the financial implication of long-term renting, accounting for rent growth, inflation, and the time value of money, of course. Starting with an initial annual rent of 47,604 based on the November 2024 Metro Vancouver rent report, which states that annual around for detached home people in Vancouver around pays 3,900. The couple faces 3% annual rent increase, reflecting typical market trends. Fixed costs include around 240 for tenant insurance and 185 uh, utilities bill, including the electricity, gas, and hydro per month, add a layer of predictability to their expenses. Though inflation will gradually erode this stability, I guess. The main purpose of this analysis is to shed light on the couple's long-term financial outflow and highlight how this cost evolved when adjusted for inflation and discounted to today's value. By doing so, we can better understand the true cost of renting versus, say, for example, alternative like home ownership. The key takeaway will be that renting provides immediate flexibility, though, but the financial trade-offs over time require careful consideration. Can you go to the next slide, please, Abir? Thank you. When we zoom more further in on the details of a 15-year rental timeline, the financial landscape begin to unfold. The couple's rent grows steadily from 47,000 annually in year one to around 72,000 in year 15, driven by the 3% annual growth rate. This growth reflects standard market adjustment over time and highlights how even moderate increase of 3% might compound into substantial amount over 15 years. Adding to this, the couple incurs usual fixed costs such as tenant insurance and utilities. While these costs remain predictable, inflation gradually increases their real impact, with inflation adjusted cost starting at $433 per year based on the Canada's 2% inflation rate. Combined, these factors drive their net cash outflow, which starts at around Canadian 47,000 in year one and grows to 71,000 in year 15, a reflection of rent growth outpacing the inflation. However, the most insightful analysis comes from the DCF methodology using a standard 7% discount rate. We adjust future cash flows to reflect their present debt value. For example, while past year cash outflow has a discounted cash flow value of 44,084.58. By the way, by year 15, the discounted cash flow drops to 25,000. Over the entire period, the total discounted cash outflow sum comes to around $500,000, a significant burden when viewed through the lens of today's money. Cumulatively, the couple's total rental and utility payment over 15 years reach around over 850,000 K, underscoring the financial weight of long-term tenancy. While renting offers short-term affordability and flexibility, of course, the overall cumulative cost over time demanded deeper analysis of alternative. My friend will further draw comparison of the rent versus own. Okay.
Thank you, Kamran. So to do this analysis, let's divide into two parts. First of all, financial comparison, then we will consider non-financial factors. So first of all, renting provides higher cumulative net cash flow over the analyzed period. As my two group member, Abid and Kamrad, already talked details about this discounted cash flow. Abid discussed about owning discounted cash flow, and Kamran talked about renting discounted cash flow. Oh, and to compare both data, I figured out that renting provides higher cumulative and net cash flow. Then discounted cash flow wise, renting provide the couples positive cash flow. On the other hand, owning gives them negative cash flow. And then rent appears more favorable financially because in terms of opportunity cost, renting gives you a better option. The couple can invest that money somewhere else and get a good returns. Owning a home allows the couple to gain equity. However, renting does not accumulate any equity. Go to next slide, please. Non-financial consideration. First of all, flexibility. Renting offers mobility and fewer commitments. Once you bought any house, you can't move easily and sell that place. So renting gives you more flexibility. In terms of responsibility, renting also inclined towards less responsibility. On the other hand, if you own a house, you have to maintain that house, and you have also other responsibilities. Stability and customization. Owning offers some more freedom. You can do your interior design, you can do whatever you want, and this is your own house. But while where you are a tenant, you can't do all these things. Go to next slide, please. Let's draw a conclusion in final recommendation. Based on financial analysis, renting appears more favorable due to positive discounted cash flow and cumulative cash flow. Because we compare both of the data of renting and owning DCF and cumulative cash flow, and we found that renting is best option for that couple. And in terms of opportunity cost, as I mentioned earlier, renting keeps capital liquid for other investment. So we draw that final recommendation that couple should rent. That would be a nice, good option for them. They also can buy the house, but that's not a good option in terms of financial consideration. Thank you so much.